Hello. I can't. Can you guys hear me? I feel like I'm having some difficulties right now. My audio. Can everybody hear me? You can hear me. Okay, good. Good. That's good. That's very good. Let me just check real quick. Did you see the intro? What'd you think about the creepy intro? Did you get to see it, or did I not do that right? I thought the intro was pretty good. It's my first attempt. So forgive me if it wasn't that good. It'll get better. Excuse me. Sorry. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Saturday? Sunday? Sunday. Happy Sunday. Mike is here. Mike Standard is here tonight. Oh, Mike, I wish I knew you were free, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, it was meant to be creepy. It's a nod to the White Rabbit Productions thing. The White Rabbit is is pretty symbolic for me. I like creepy, cryptic, weird messages that may have hidden meanings that you might have to try to figure out. Just throwing that out there because there will be videos made in the future that will have hidden messages in them that you may have to try to put together yourselves. I love that kind of stuff. It's really fun. So anyway, good evening, everybody. If everybody calm down, we still have hope. Get it? We still have hope. I hope. Welcome to the show. So, couple things. Was out in the field yesterday. Brought along a really good guy who is part of the family. He is here tonight in the chat. His name is Mike. Mike Standard. Everybody give Mike some love. Mike came out with me yesterday. He was supposed to come out with me a couple weeks ago, and then I had the stuff happen with the back and all that. Whatever. I had to postpone on him, which I felt terrible about. Let me get rid of this stupid thing. I don't know why this is up. It shouldn't be. Okay, we're good now. So Mike came out with me, and we saw some stuff. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, we had a great time. Mike's a wonderful guy. I had such a good time. It was so nice to have somebody out there with me because I don't ever get anybody to come out with me. I have nobody in this area who is into this stuff. So it was wonderful to have him come out. He's a great guy. We had a good time. I did. We hiked our asses off into those woods for quite a ways, and along the way we found a whole bunch of stuff, which you're going to see some of it tonight. I still have to go back through the video and check things, but okay. So here's the kicker. I just got off the phone with Robin McRae. If you guys in the chat know who Robin McRae is, put a 1. If you don't know, put a 2, please, for me. And I'm going to keep my mouth shut until you do. Dead air. One, if you know who Robin McRae is. 2, if you don't, put it in the chat. Okay, Hope doesn't know, Sharon does. Mike knows. Don does not. Hey, Don, what's up, man? Welcome. Matt, welcome. Glad you're here. I'll come to Kentucky and walk in the woods. Absolutely, I will. Kidding me? Cashew knows. Jeannie doesn't know. V. Morgan, welcome. V doesn't know. Matt doesn't know. Lynn doesn't know. Janelle does know. Primal Cry does know. Robin and Pat, yeah, her husband Pat, yep. Francesca doesn't know. Ridge Runner just got here. Hey, Ridge Runner. If you didn't hear, if you know who Robin McRae is, put a number 1. If you don't, put a number 2. Hi, Francesca. Hi, Brown Dwarf. Thank you guys all for being here. Yeah, Robin's a sweetheart. She's a doll. And pause. Hey. Okay, I'm just gonna highlight you for a minute because okay, guys, if you don't know who Impossible Visits is, please go sub to his channel. This is my good friend Christopher Noel. Awesome researcher, has a great documentary out that's called How to See a Sasquatch. Um, it's a wonderful movie. I've watched it multiple times. He also has the book about I forget the title exactly, Chris. Autism and Sasquatch and the Autism Factor, or something along those lines. I hope I'm not really messing that up. Another great book about some of the behavioral characteristics of these creatures and traits. Kind of similar to autism behavioral characteristics. It's really quite a read. But Chris is a wonderful guy. I cannot say enough wonderful things about him. He's just a sweetheart of a guy. If you don't sub to his channel, please do. It's worth it. Impossible Visits. He's doing research as we speak, or maybe he's wrapping it up right now, and he'll be coming on the show. Right? You'll be coming on the show, right, Chris? Right? I've been waiting for this for how long? Right? I'm putting you on the spot, Mr. Noel. That'll be a great interview, by the way. So anyway, I was on the phone with Mrs. Robin McRae. Sasquatch and Autism is the name of the book. It's a wonderful book. Really quite an incredible theory. I was on the phone with Mrs. Robin McRae just before this show. You don't know who Robin McRae is. I will tell you who she is. Robin McRae is somebody who is kind of like a medium. She can mind speak and read energies and stuff like that. Hey, Bobby, welcome. Salty, what's up? She's got some incredible gifts. Let's put it that way. She has had interactions with ETs, Sasquatch, and all kinds of other things since she was a child. So it's pretty amazing what she does. But anyway, okay, so yesterday when we were out, we found a whole bunch of stuff. We found a bunch of stick structures. We found the weirdest pile of pine cones I've ever seen in my life. It was so many. That's the thing. There were just so many of them. It was like a foot deep to 2 feet deep of pine cones, and I don't know, Mike, about 5 foot long. That pile. It was wheelbarrows full of these things, and we were miles into the woods at that point, just miles. And if you looked at the floor of the forest, the pine cones were very sporadic. They were very spread out. To have collected this many and put them in this one spot would have taken ages. I don't know any animal that does that without eating them, without, getting the nuts, the seeds out of the insides. These were whole. So I don't know what this was. It was really strange, though. We kept trying to figure it out. I could not figure it out. Mike, I'm assuming, didn't have any epiphanies after he went home, because I would have heard from him, and I didn't. So that was really weird. We also, at one point, had stopped to figure out which way we were going to go. And we were out in the woods quite a ways. At this point, started hearing this weird popping sound. It sounded like, kind of like if you had a green tree, a real like strong tree, a pretty thick branch, and it started to break, that popping noise, but as if it was muffled to a degree. It was very strange. And hey, Danny, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Yeah, see, Mike says about 5 foot long that pile of pine cones was. It was weird. Danny Church, man, welcome. Glad to have you here, buddy. Thank you for coming. Danny's another guy that he's a good man. He's a very good man. We've talked a few times, and I have nothing but wonderful things to say about him. Hopefully, you guys will get to know him soon. Wink, wink. Bigfoot also stacked dead beaver on top of each other. It's called stacking. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I had gone over this in my head. I had researched it online. I didn't find anything that really lined up exactly with it, so I just couldn't pinpoint what it could be. It's possible that it's a Bigfoot. I'll never say. Yeah, about 1 to 2 feet deep. Mike says 100% agree. We were there together. We were digging into it without trying to really mess it up. It was strange, man. So maybe Bigfoot. I will never ever say 100% because I wasn't there to see them do it, but possible. I don't know. Especially because when you look at the structures that we found and stuff all along the same area, it does make it a little bit more plausible. It was an interesting day. There was a couple of points in the walk where the whole time we had been hearing tons of birds, tons of bugs, and then in an instant, dead silent. Nothing. Not a thing. It was really weird. The weirdest thing to me, though, David Devine is a friend of the channel. David Devine is divine. He's a wonderful guy. Again, another person I have nothing but wonderful things to say about. He's part of this family. Please go sub to David Devine's channel. Great dude. What a fun show he has. Sometimes I get jealous because David has a show where he just can do whatever the hell he wants. He can talk about what he wants. He can decide today he's going to talk about hamburgers. Tomorrow he's going to talk about number 2 pencil lead. And, or halfway through the show, he's going to decide that he doesn't want to talk about either one of those things. And he's going to talk about his socks. The freedom is wonderful, which I envy a little bit sometimes. I love the topics that we do here, trust me, but there are some times where I just want to come on here and talk about whatever and see what happens. But anyway, David Devine, check him out. He's awesome. They were all the season's pine cones, no leaves or sticks mixed in, just large, whole, uneaten pine cones. Yes, exactly what Mike said. Large, whole, uneaten pine cones, just a pile of them, a giant pile of them. Weird. But the weirdest thing for me that happened on this trip was we were almost at the point where we were going to turn around and come back. We didn't know that yet because we hadn't made the decision. We were walking and there was an elm tree that was right on the side of this small trail that we were on. And that elm tree was about 15 inches wide, just staring at it from the front, probably about that wide. It had a stick. The stick was about 3 foot long. Looked like, could be a good walking stick. It hadn't come off that tree, though, I can tell you that. And I didn't see any other tree around there where this stick could have fallen this way. It was leaned up against this tree perfectly in the middle, right on the side of the trail, which is not a crazy weird thing. I thought it was a little strange just because of where we were. We were deep in these woods. So I picked it up, looked at it, and said something to Mike, and then put it back down. Um, oh yeah, no rake. No. We were way out in the woods. There were no drag marks, no rake marks, no shovel marks, no nothing. The floor of the forest was untouched. These things were picked up and put there. It was weird. So anyway, the stick was leaned up against a tree. I picked it up, looked at it, told Mike about it. Was like, it's a little strange, just because of thinking how far in the woods we are. Like, we hadn't seen a single person at all. This is Saturday afternoon. It was beautiful outside. I can imagine that maybe at some point people might hike back there, but I wouldn't imagine it's often, just because of how kind of remote it is, and how far we were into these woods. So I put it back. I leaned it back exactly how it was, and we kept walking. We probably walked another, I don't know, 50 yards tops. And then I said, all right, let's turn around and head back. We had still had a hell of a walk ahead of us. I was getting hungry. Mike was getting hungry. We've been out there for a few hours at this point. So we turn around to walk back, and I wanted to take another look at it on the way back. When we get back to the tree, it ain't there. It's no longer there. And I'm looking at Mike. I'm like, Mike, this is the tree, right? Like, I made a mental note of this tree, like where it was. But I'm like, am I going crazy? Like, this is the tree? And Mike was like, I think so. I don't know for sure. So we were like, well, let's keep, looking. But as I said that, I found the stick. It was about 15 feet away from the tree, off the trail, on the forest floor. How did it get there? How did it get there? I got goosebumps right now. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. I'm not doing a very good job of that, but I have goosebumps. I have no idea how this happened. None. We were 50 yards away from it at most. And this, and only for a couple minutes, like just a couple minutes, like maybe 5 minutes tops. If we turned around, we could have seen the tree. That's the thing. How did it move? How did it get moved? I saw nothing. I heard nothing. Now, I wasn't focusing on that area. I was doing my thing. But I heard nothing. I saw nothing. So Robin, we had scheduled a phone call today because she's going to be on the show on Wednesday, which is awesome. I had to ask her. I said, can you tell me about the stick yesterday? And she said, oh yeah, it's one of them was there and took it and moved it on you. That stick was it was a marker to let other Bigfoots know that one Bigfoot had come through there. And that's what those sticks are on side. Like, if they're leaned up against a tree like that, like one stick or two sticks or three sticks right in a row against a tree, it's to denote how many came through that area at that moment, like had walked through. And she said one of them had walked through, put that stick there, and when you touched it, it decided that it was going to take it and move it, so that nobody else could see it after that. And he came in, apparently, quiet as a church mouse, cloaked or whatever, doing his weird interdimensional stuff that they do, and took it and moved in. That was it. That's what she said. I have no other reasonable explanation for this. We were not far from this thing, not at all. There's no way that anything would have moved this without us hearing it. Just none. Or seeing it. It's not like I was looking the total opposite way. We were scanning all over the place, so my eyes would have been going back and forth. It was weird. I think you're right, Mike. That was one of the times when it got deadly quiet. It was just strange, man. It was strange. So on the way in, I didn't know where I was going, because when I got there the last time, it was by accident. I got lost and then found this place, right? So we had to do searching. We had to drive through. And Mike can tell you, when you get out there, it all looks very similar. Every trail, every intersection of the trail roads, they all look the same. It's hard to keep your bearings. Certain parts look the same to each other, and then other parts look the same to each other. It's just a big, dense area of forest. Yeah, you can definitely get lost for sure. So we had driven around for a while. While we were driving around, I wanted to find the spot where I had seen these tree breaks and twists the last time. And so we finally got to a point where there was I found a part where there were some tree breaks and twists. And we were driving down this road, this dirt trail road. I'm going to show you guys some. Hopefully I do this right. Hold on one sec. What did I do? I did not mean to do that. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, so I'm about to show you this. Screen share. Chrome tab. Okay. So this rock here, these two trees, right? Obviously they had been cut down. We were driving down one of these trails, and they were laid on the side of the road, kind of slanted like this, like slanted. The top of the tree was on the ground, and then it kind of slanted upwards. The back was lifted off the ground like this, and there's this rock just balanced perfectly on this tree, which I thought was very weird. How does that happen? That's not natural. That doesn't just happen. A rock doesn't fall out of the sky and land on here. This is also not a road or trail that you would see people hiking down. You just wouldn't. It's just not like that. So how does this rock get put there? Also, in an area where there were tree twists, anywhere between 7 and 10 feet high in different places on both sides of this trail. And then there was another thing in these fields next to this trail that I'm about to show you. This was pretty crazy. I gotta get it. Sorry. I'm still learning how to do this, so apologies. Okay. Here we go. This was the other thing we saw. In this field, right by this rock. This is what we saw. This is a very, very, very tall tree, as you can see. Very tall. I would say this right here is 25 feet high, where this is. And I know what people are going to say. They're going to say that fell off the top of this tree and landed there. It didn't. This thing here, it was a completely different color than this tree. This is not the same. It is a completely different color, and I think you can probably see that from this picture. This tree here is like a light color, a very light gray. This was darker. Mike, are you here? Because I believe, Mike, you saw this first. I didn't even see it. And this was right by where that rock was. 25 feet high, probably. I mean, 20 at least, I would say. This is not part of that tree. I promise you that. And look around. There are no other trees around here. You see these trees in the background? That thing in the middle of this tree that's balancing there, not part of the tree that it's in. Different color, different bark. You see the trees in the background? Those trees are at the forest line. They're probably another 20 feet away, 30 feet away. There's no trees around this. None. How does that get there? How does it get there? Somebody explain that to me. Weatherman, tell me how that happens. Because I know there's going to be some douche nozzle weatherman out there who's going to say that it was part of the windstorm or something. I promise you, it was not. Mike, this was not part of that tree, correct? And if I'm wrong, say so. Yeah, I think so too. 25, 30 feet high is what Mike said. I think so too. I usually try to go a little conservatively just because, but I would say 25 to 30 feet high is probably the more accurate estimation. No, it didn't look like the same tree. It didn't. It just didn't. It looked different. I don't know how to explain that. It's very weird. Let me see here. Bing, bing, bing. Let me give you some other ones that we found. This is not going to be a very long show. I just want you guys to know. I just wanted to share some of this stuff with you. What else do we have? Okay, so here you go. Here's another part to that. Here's another part to that. Right in that field, right next to where that tree was this. That's about 8 feet high. Where that's twisted. I mean, that's twisted. You can clearly see that's twisted around. And that's not a small tree. Not even remotely small. That tree is probably at the point that it's broken and twisted. I would say it's probably 10 to 12 inches around in diameter, maybe more. And it is fully twisted. It's broken and twisted, and all in the same area. This is all in the vicinity of each other. That branch in the tree, the rock on the trees on the side of the road, and the what's it called, the last picture of the big branch thing in a tree. This is on the way in. This isn't even at the part where we got to. Yeah, can you imagine how big? Yeah, I can't. Honestly, I can't. I don't even want to think about it, to be completely honest with you, because that's freaky. Okay, so this was on the way in. Now I'm going to show you a few things that we thought we found. We saw a lot of stuff that was weird, a lot, but we didn't. We kind of, hey, Darlene, welcome. Thank you for being here. Yep, we saw several twists. We sure did. We saw a bunch of stuff, but not everything I thought was worthy of being called for sure evidence. There were some things that were like could have been, that were questionable, but still probable. But we kind of leaned into the stuff that I thought was like, there's just no way to explain this stuff. So I'll give you some more of that. Here you go. Ooh. Is that natural? Tell me that's natural. Yeah, we did. We picked apart every structure. We stood there and we analyzed everything, every one of them. And we canceled a bunch out too. You know, we there were a bunch where we ended up going, you know, no, because this is connected to the ground still. This one fell this way and da 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 da. So these pictures I'm showing you are things that we had no explanation for, just none. This is not natural. This structure you're seeing right now is not natural. There was no way that this could have been made by nature. Just couldn't have. We picked this thing apart, and we just couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure it out. Off the trail, you know, into the woods a little bit, and most of the stuff that we found was, you know, was off in, I mean, like I said, we were in the deep. We were in there. We had hiked for a long time. So even halfway into the hike, we were deep into the woods. Any hair in the branches, you know, Lynn, to be completely honest with you, I didn't even check, and I know that's terrible. I didn't even check. That's something I always forget is hair. I don't know why. But yeah, I couldn't figure this one out. This was weird. It's hard to see because it's small. I can't blow it up. Bet you feel some good energy while sitting under that structure. Yeah, probably. I didn't sit under it. I should have, though. Almost looks like something in market territory. I believe, like for me, this is what I believe. I believe that there's obviously a reason for all this stuff. This is not haphazard. This is not just like, oh, we're going to throw some stuff together today and, you know, for no reason. I believe there's a reason for all the structures and all the stick stuff and the stone stuff. I don't know what the reasons are. Could be marking territory, could be signifying how many Bigfoots are in this particular clan, could be trying to tell a story of some sort. Yeah, none on trail. 4 miles off the dirt road. Yeah, for sure. At least, I would say. We were out there for a minute, man. And yeah, it was just some weird stuff. Here, let me get another picture up of some more. I'm gonna kill my cat. I'm gonna kill him. Go away. Not tonight. You're not gonna do it to me tonight. Here we go. This was one of me and Mike's favorites, and this is a terrible angle. I don't know why I don't have the other angles. Hold on, let me see if I can get the other ones. I'll send them to myself. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sending myself these pictures so you can get a better view. So this thing, if you see, right? So the tree to the left, the first tree of the two that are right next to each other there, or they're kind of connected at the bottom. there's one tree that's connected at the bottom, kind of, that V's, and then there's a third tree that's in the middle that's not connected, right? So that tree, this fork thing, is woven between all three of those. So it goes behind one, in front of the other, behind the other, and then in front of this other tree that's way off to the right. There's also another tree that comes up on an angle that slants in over that fork. It was another Y, another fork and a Y. What's going on, Mean Green? Just a very, very weird, intricate way of putting that thing in there. Again, not natural. This log thing that's up in between these trees is super old. There's moss growing on it. This is not from any tree around that area. You can see for yourself in this picture that behind this tree, there's no trees that look like that dark log thing. Again, this is not natural. It just is not. There's no way that thing wove itself in between three trees the way that it did, with one part of the Y going in front of one tree, the other part going behind, then that part going in front of one, and then the other part going behind. I mean, it's my goodness. It was just weird. Yeah, that one, Mike says that one blew my mind. Yeah, I remember this was the one that he was really, really big on this one, and you can see why. It's just crazy. Let's see what's next in the roll. Oh, here's another view. Here's a different view. Okay, and then I forgot about this. There's this tree break right here. If you see it on that real skinny one, there's a tree break right there. But you can see a little better how this thing is, and then there's the branch that's leaned up with it going through. Just weird. Very weird, man. Very weird stuff. Let me get the new ones that I just sent to myself up. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, here we go. What else did I send? Oh, here we go. All right, I got two more for you. This is a much better picture of that. Yes. Look at, there you go. That's a much better picture of what's going on in this thing. Not natural. Just so weird. So weird. There's an X in the background too, on the bottom right hand corner if you look. I mean, there was just stuff all over the place. There really was. It was littered with strange things. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it would have. It would have taken. It would have definitely taken a few, just to have it, to be able to get it between those trees the way it was, would have taken some immense strength. It would have taken forcibly pushing it down in between them, or pulling one tree out. Not there ain't. I know I couldn't do it. I'm a big guy. Mike's a big guy too. I couldn't do it. I don't think Mike could do it, and I don't know if the both of us could do it, to to be honest with you. This is a hardwood tree that we're talking about there. Would have not been easy to do. Mike Palumbo, welcome, buddy. He says, sometimes I think those structures might signify that the place they're at is probably pretty safe. I would say that that's a very plausible explanation, especially for this place, because this is not a place that is frequented by people, at least in these areas that we were in. We saw nobody, not one person. We heard nobody, we saw nobody. We were out there for a while on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. There wasn't a whole lot of signs of people being in there either. And the pictures do not do justice of that. Yeah, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. It's so hard to quantify the size of the tree in this picture. I'm going to give you the pine cone pics next. You ready? Here you go. Again, picture doesn't do it justice. Pictures don't do it justice. That is a giant pile of pine cones. That's 5 foot long by 2 foot wide, and that was 2 feet deep. The whole thing, 2 feet deep, just pine cones. How does that happen? What does that? That doesn't eat them in the middle of the woods. I have no answer for that. I just don't. I have no answer for that. Mike, you know what's really pissing me off right now is I forgot to take a picture of that one that we found over by where we heard the popping, right before the popping, that other tree that was kind of dead like that in the last picture, that had been just forced down in between those trees. Remember, it had been forced so bad that the one side was flattened against that one tree. There are squirrels and chipmunks. I don't know lots. There's probably a good amount of squirrels, but we saw the evidence of what the squirrels do. I see what the squirrels do with them all the time. And what they do is a squirrel can't carry more than one pine cone at a time. So what it'll do is it'll take the pine cone and it'll carry it to a little place where they feel safe to eat. And they'll put it there and they'll take the seeds out and they'll store them in their cheeks. They'll run off and they'll put the seeds back in where their home is. And they'll come back and they'll get more seeds, stuff their cheeks or eat some, and then go put them back where their home is. They don't take whole pine cones like this. This is 5 foot long, 2 foot wide, and 2 feet deep. It would have taken one squirrel, I don't know how long. I don't know how long, but it would have taken them a very, very long time. Yeah, here you go. Read this. This is perfect. Yep. It was crazy. It was like a burial mound of pine cones. And then that was the other thing is we found. No, you're good, Mike. Don't worry about it, buddy. Don't ever have to apologize. I'm super slow at typing. The other thing we started seeing were those weird mounds. There were these mounds. They were definitely old, and they had rocks on them that were placed, like they were placed around the top of the mounds, and the mounds looked like burial mounds, like a body was underneath it, like they were that big. That was the shape they were in. Excuse me. And there were rocks placed around the top of them, um, purposefully, like decoratively. But they were old. The rocks had moss on them. There was grass kind of growing over some of them, and there were many of them, just in one area. It was weird. It was weird. Winter storage for Bigfoot, possibly. Who knows? Again, all this becomes conjecture. We just don't know. Um, we just don't know. Hard to say. It's all questions. Um, I just wanted to present some of the pictures we got. Yeah, it could be. Absolutely could be. Yeah. Yeah, right, Darlene. Yeah, right. They would never do that. They take their little pine cone, they go up where they feel safe, and then they eat what they eat and take the rest and they shove it in their cheeks and they bring it to their nests or whatever. Um, yeah, but yeah, cachet for the winter in case for hard winter is definitely plausible, 100%. Um, what was I just gonna say? Well, the other thing we found was this tree, this old tree that was down. It was kind of rotted, and it had like these like areas, these kind of nooks, like cut out of it, not cut, but like they were um, little areas of like rot, and there were pine cones shoved in them. Um, that was weird. I kind of said, but I said to Mike, I was like, it's got to be squirrels because we did find evidence of squirrels eating them on this tree. But it was very strange the way that they were placed like in these little nooks and holes, and then there'd be one there was like five or six that were balanced perfectly on real skinny branches, like real skinny, like it would have had to have been perfectly placed on this branch that was coming off the tree, pointing in the air, and then there's a pine cone just balanced perfectly on it. It's weird. It was weird. That popping noise was strange. Couldn't figure that out. Um, it was a pretty good day. I think I think we're gonna have even more success when we go down by the pond. I think that's probably where we're really going to have the most. No, it wasn't their mouth. Definitely wasn't their mouth. It was it was weird. It sounded like if there was a big branch, a thick branch. I mean, like a thick branch. Something this big. At minimum, that was green, that was still fresh, and then something was breaking it, where it would make that pop, 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 um, like that. But if almost as if somebody put a pillow over it to muffle it. It was weird. It was loud but muffled, if that makes any sense. It was just strange. You could tell it was off in the distance a little bit, not too far, but it was just weird. It was weird. There was a lot of weird stuff going on out there. That stick though, that gets me. It still gets me. Uh, 1 minute it's there, the next minute it's gone. Bye bye, and 15 feet away from where it was. It's just weird. Excuse me. Sorry. Didn't sleep much last night. But Mike, yeah, Mike, you got to come back down, man. You got to come back down. We got to go back out. We're going to go back out by the pond, down by the water. I think we'll have a good amount of success over there, especially considering, not just the water, because the water obviously is super important, but that area there was a lot of thick cover by that water up in those woods right to the sides of it, which is super important. That's where they're going to lay. That's where they're going to hang out. That's where they're going to stay, is in the thickest stuff they can find. And that was thick stuff there, man. That was stuff you can't move through. So I'm hoping we find some good stuff over there. I bet you we don't find many structures at all in that area, if any. But that's if there's going to be a place where we get activity near us. That's probably the place. Yeah, you got to come back down. We got to go out and do that. That'll be awesome. Nav. Yeah, why didn't we take a picture of that? I thought I did. Ah, man, I'm so mad. I'll have to I'll have to somehow get a screenshot. Yeah, I definitely recorded it. I'll have to somehow grab a screenshot of it from the recording. And sorry, I just saw this weird millipede weird thing run across my rug. He can hang out. He's fine. The cats will play with him and torture him. Yeah, I'll get a screenshot of it from the video. That's what I'll do. And I'll share it next time we go on. Because that was crazy. That thing was shoved in between those trees. Another one. It was woven between 2 or 3 giant trees, and it was a big log tree of its own. But when I say this thing had to have been very forcibly shoved down there, a tree is round, right? And so it's pushed in between these trees, and it was pushed so hard down against between them that this side of it was up against another tree, and it had been pushed down so hard that it was no longer round on this side, it was flat. It was, I mean, very forcibly shoved down there. It was crazy. That doesn't happen naturally. Wind doesn't force something down in between trees. It lands where it lands. That's it. And it only lands where there's enough room for it to land. It doesn't continue to force its way down. Just don't happen that way. Don't happen that way. What else was I going to say? So I have Robin coming on Wednesday. That'll be an awesome show. I also have a gentleman coming on Thursday who had a up close 25-minute encounter with a Bigfoot that was 30 yards from him. You heard that right. 25 minutes. A 25-minute intense, life-altering stare down with a Bigfoot that was 8 feet tall, 30 yards away from him. It was crazy. Darlene says, if you bring up your device, you can see that it was shoved in there. Yeah, that was a different one, though. That one that you saw was a different one. There was another one that we didn't take a picture of. It's on the video from the live, and I don't have the live on the computer yet. I don't know why. So here's the thing, right? I don't know if anyone out there knows anything about computers. But so I have this laptop. It's a Chromebook. It's an Acer Chromebook with a really good processor. What is the processor? I forget. Like Snapdragon processor or whatever. It's a really good processor. So I got it. And I don't have an SD slot. So I have to get one of those SD card readers that has a USB cord attached and plug it in. And when I do that, it only allows me to take the pictures and show them on the computer or put them onto Google Drive. And I don't need them on Google Drive. I need them saved to my downloads. That's where I need them saved. I don't know how to get them there though, because I don't know how to even, if I put them on Google Drive, I don't know how to get them from Google Drive to the downloads section. So I have all this video of even outings before I started the channel, and I can't put it up because I don't know how to get it on the computer. If anyone has any ideas, please message me or email me because I'm new to this shit. It's weird. I don't know how to do it, but whatever, we'll figure it out at some point. If not, I'll call the Geek Squad, have them come over and show me how to do it. I should have just got a damn Apple computer is what I should have got. I just don't have any room to put a desk, so I had to get a laptop. Don't put them on Google Drive. If you have a laptop, you should have everything on that you need to download the photos and videos. Yeah, that's the thing though. When I put that SD card reader and I plug it in, it only allows me to save them to Google Drive. It doesn't give me the option to put them with the rest of my downloads on the computer itself. I don't know why. I've tried multiple times. I need someone who can get on and share screen with me and see what's going on is what I need so that they can do it for me. Show me how to do it. So anyway, Wednesday, Robin McRae is coming on. If you don't know who Robin is, Robin like mind speaks to these beings. She also Windows 10, I believe so. I'm pretty sure this is a new computer. I only got it like 6 months ago. I'm pretty sure it's got Windows 10. My Chrome file click makes it go. Always open invites to film you. I'll go anywhere. Oh, well, you're welcome to come down here, dude. I would love to have you come down here. Can you open two directories and drag the files? Maybe. That's possible. I'll have to try it. I'll try it tomorrow morning. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm tired, so when I'm done with this, I'm going to hit the hay because I did not sleep last night. Mr. Joey's garden. Yeah, you're right. It's where I get most of my information too. Yeah. Absolutely. YouTube is useful for a lot of stuff. I could not figure out this one thing trying to fix my car not too long ago, and there's a dude on there who had a video that was just so good and made it so much easier. So Robin McRae is coming on Wednesday. If you don't know who she is, she mind speaks to these beings. She has had alien ET encounter things happen to her. She was she was asked to go work with CERN a few years ago. If you don't know who CERN is, look it up. It's crazy stuff. You're going to hear some stuff when she's on that if you don't have an open mind, you are going to probably click off the show. I promise you, if you just have an open mind, because there's so much out there, more to this than we know, way more. I promise you. And she's got some kind of connection with these things since she was a child. It's on a totally different wavelength than the rest of us. It's pretty amazing. She told me when we talked earlier, she was like, this is before I said anything. All I said is, I want to ask you a question. And she goes, who's the big dark colored one that follows you or that like watches you? And I'm like, huh? I'm like, I have no idea. I haven't even seen one in the areas I'm going to yet. And she's like, you don't live in the woods. You live away from the woods. I'm like, yeah, I do. I don't live anywhere near the woods, honestly. She's like, but I see like you have your back to the window. And that's when he looks in. She's like, but you have to remember that these things can be in a different place than us. So they can be in the woods and be also like where you are. Um, and she's like, he's not very bulky. He's built, more slender and athletic. Well, that was the exact description of the one that I saw in 1994. So I don't know. Weird, very weird. CERN is cracking into existence. CERN is doing a lot of shit they shouldn't be doing, is what they're doing. They need to stop. They need to stop because they're allowing things to cross over into this world that shouldn't be here. That's what they're doing. They don't have any idea what they're doing. They think they do. It's ego. It's all ego driven. They have to, people like that have to um, think that they are doing something bigger than everybody else and feed their egos and think they have to think that they know what's going on with everything, and they don't. They're allowing things to come through that shouldn't be here. And some of those things are hella dangerous. Um, there's a lot of stuff out there that's bad. You'll hear more from Robin, but there was stuff that I had kind of heard from other people prior to talking to Robin too, that was not good at what's going on over there. Yep, government's involved too. 100% government's involved. Yep. All this cryptid stuff started with ETs. That's how it started. And then the government got their hands in it. And when the government gets their hands in things, it's when it goes south real quick. The ETs knew what they were doing. Government wants to think they know, but they don't. Um, it's crazy. Yeah, poke it and see what happens. Exactly. And they're poking the wrong things. They're messing with stuff that they just don't get. They don't get. And it's to the point where the like I think that they're trying to do things and make experiments and stuff, and when those experiments go awry, they just turn their backs and they go, yeah, do whatever you need to do with it because we can't. This is not what we wanted, and we don't know what to do with it. So, you know, like it's a puppy, like, let it go play in the yard. You know, yeah, you can't do that with shit like this. Um, she's on Wednesday. Gentleman by the name of Michael is on Thursday who had a 25-minute face-to-face close encounter with a Bigfoot that was 30 yards away from him. It was an intense encounter. It was amazing. Um, it's incredible. Really, it's incredible. You're going to want to listen to that because I haven't heard it all. What I heard so far was astounding, and I can't wait to hear the rest. Um, Oh, thank you, Angel. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate that. I try. I try. There's a lot of stuff out there. It's hard to read everything. It's hard to study everything. So it's hard to remember everything. But I try to learn as much as I can. I try to keep a completely open mind to all this stuff because I'm just a dude. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know. I don't claim to know anything. I claim to believe certain things, and that's it. But I believe that the government is playing with fire. Um, Anytime that you're trying to create a black hole and you don't know what's on the other side of that black hole, you are really getting in deep. And it's the same with their experiments, splicing and creating hybrids and stuff. They're making mistakes, man. They don't know what they're doing. The aliens have been doing this for eons. Eons. It's how races were started. This is how literally civilizations were started, is because of them. Um, is what I believe anyway. It makes the most sense to me. And then your government, who's, if you think in the grand scheme of things, if you just think about technology wise, the aliens are probably thousands and thousands of years ahead of us technology wise. They're probably tens of thousands of years ahead of us, civilization wise. And that means that they know that much more about what's going on with everything around them. They're probably way more in tune with the world around them, the energy around them. And then they probably work much better together than we do, because we don't work well together. We are one really messed up civilization. We're all the same type. We're all the same thing. We're all human beings, and we sit here and we fight about the color of skin. We fight about differences of opinion. We kill over these things, like, or because you believe in a God who looks like a hippie, and I believe in a God who looks like uh, uh, I don't know, an elephant man or something. Like, we kill over this stuff. We murder over this stuff. We start wars that destroy whole countries, and over the silliest things. My guess is they probably don't do that. They probably work, together, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Mike, what's going on, Big Mike? Oh man, this makes me so happy. Uh, this is my buddy Mike. This is Big Mike. So let me tell you something real quick. I have a lot of interests, hobbies and stuff. One of those is I'm a wrestling fan, a huge wrestling fan, and I collect wrestling memorabilia and belts. Wrestling belts is one of the things I collect. Championship belts. I have quite a few. I got rid of some of the collection, but I still have quite a few. Mike is the same. Mike collects belts. Mike sells belts. Mike shows his belts off. Mike is a wonderful, wonderful guy. He lives in Guam. We happened to be talking not too long ago. Oh shit, Mike, I didn't make the video. Um, Send me a message, please. Remind me, because I have so much going on, I forget. And I please don't take that personally. I literally, like, with the show and everything, I'm all over the place. I will make the video tomorrow. I promise you. Um, I promise you, I'll make the video tomorrow. Send me a message tomorrow reminding me, and I will make the video and send it immediately. So anyway, Mike is showing off his belts at a place in Guam. So he's putting them there so that people can go see them. They're really neat, man. It's really cool to be able, especially for like fans of the subject and kids, to be able to go and hold one of these things. Like, it's really cool. I'll tell you, it was really neat the first time I was able to pick up a championship belt. Like, really neat to me. So Mike has his on display at a place in Guam, and he's inviting people down to go look at them. He's a wonderful guy. We got talking about stuff. I told him about the show. He told me about some stuff that he's had happen, and some people on the island have seen things, and some histories about the island of Guam, and the bones of the giants they found, teenagers that were 9 feet tall, crazy stuff. Uh, Mike should be on the show, because just what we talked about the other day, he filled me in on stuff that I didn't know. And Guam apparently has some very active places there as far as UFOs go. So everybody, Mike is a wonderful guy. I'm super happy that you're here right now, brother. Blessings and love. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it so much. So Mike is now part of the family, everybody. Good group of people here, Mike. Really good group. The family of this channel is wonderful people. So welcome, Mike, everybody. Please show him some love. We are the star people. We are them. They are us. I believe we are. I believe we're all connected 100%. I just don't think that we live the way that they live. I think that we fight and bicker and start wars about the stupidest things. I don't think that they do that. Not the. Okay, let me say this. Some of them are bad. There are bad ones. There are bad races of ETs out there, 100%. The ones I'm talking about, though, are the ones who, because the bad ones didn't start civilizations, right? I'm talking about the ones that helped start whole civilizations, planets. those ones, I bet you they don't start wars. They don't fight with each other. They work together, which is the way it's supposed to be. Everything is supposed to work in conjunction, right? The everything is everything. Oh, there's that thing. Sorry, had to get that millipede. He came by me. They're creepy. They move so fast. Um, uh, Everything is everything, right? We are the earth is us. It's all supposed to work together. We're supposed to love each other and work together. That's the way this works. Without that, it doesn't work. And if you look around you right now, you see the evidence of what happens when you don't follow those laws. The the laws of helping one another, the laws of lifting each other up, the laws of protecting your brother and sister and loving your brother and sister and the planet and all that. Look around you. We are on the precipice of this planet being destroyed. Right now, Vladimir Putin is threatening nuclear war. Do you know what happens if that guy lets off one nuclear missile? This planet's done because everybody will start firing back and forth at each other and it'll be over. Unless the star people intervene, which I believe is a very good possibility because they have a vested interest in this planet. I believe that's probably why that more people are seeing UFOs now more than ever, why people are having more encounters with cryptids now more than ever, because they're here more often. There's more of them on the planet now because of how bad things have gotten. They're kind of the overseers. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Anyway, you're free to believe what you want, and I'll never tell you you're wrong because, like I said, just a belief. I'm not an expert. Won't ever claim to be. But I do know an expert, and he will be on this show soon. You'll get to meet him. Interesting guy. Cashew knows him. Cashew, you know Richard. You know Richard. You should tell these people about Richard. Richard is an expert. At least he says he is. Mike, I'm so glad you're here. Big Mike, that's awesome. That makes me so happy, dude. Please remember to message me tomorrow. I will make the video immediately as soon as you message me because otherwise I'll forget. I need a secretary. I really do. I forgot 2 phone calls last week to people who were supposed to come on the show. Like, man, so unprofessional. I'm terrible. But like, I got so many things going on, reaching out to different people getting back to me, forgetting who's who, what's what. My phone not sending me my notifications when I set them, alarms and stuff. I don't know why, but whatever. So yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the evidence. Mike, you came in a little late. I'll pop up a couple pictures just so you can see real quick some stuff that we found when we were out yesterday. This is a pile of pine cones. It looks like if you were to bury a body, it's in that same shape. It's about the same size. It's about 5 feet long, 5.5 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 2 feet deep. All pine cones in the middle of the forest, miles into the forest. We have no idea how this happens. Makes no sense. This is the same thing. These 2 pictures are the same tree, log, that is shoved in between these 3 trees. It's woven in perfectly. And again, if you look in the next picture, it's not like any tree around it. It didn't come from there. It was put there from somewhere else. We don't know how. Plus, there's other stuff going on in this picture too. It's very weird. This is the kind of stuff that we find out in the field, stick structures that these things make. Yeah, didn't mean to do that. Forgive me. Let me find another one. Hey, Cash, I was just telling them about how we're going to have a true expert on the show. Richard. Richard will be on very, very soon. Richard will be on. Tell them about Richard, Cash. You should let them know about Richard. He's a special guy. That Richard. Hold on, Michael. I got some more for you, buddy. I just want to show Mike these things because he came in a little late, and I think he'll appreciate them. Let's see. Here we go. Screen share. Screen share. Chrome tab. Bang. Bang. There you go. That's a Bigfoot structure. Again, no trees around it. They couldn't fall in that pattern. Just doesn't happen. Multiple sticks in a star asterisk formation, miles into the woods. Just strange, man. These things, they're weird. They're out there. They're everywhere. Let's see what else we got in here. This is a very big tree. This is probably 10 to 12 inches around minimum, maybe. I'm probably being conservative. That's about 8 to 9 feet off the ground where that's broken. But not only is it broken, if you look really closely, it's twisted. Wind doesn't twist a tree like that after it's broken. Snow load doesn't do that. In order to twist something, you have to have hands with fingers and thumbs. And I don't know any human being that's taken a 12 to 15 inch tree that's 12 to 15 inches around a tree that's not rotten and doing that to it at 9 feet in the air, except for possibly a Bigfoot. And we see these often. This twist, these breaks with a twist, we see them often in areas where these things are constantly reported. We don't know, some kind of marker system of some sort, usually pointing towards a trail, a human trail. This is the one, though, that's crazy. So, first glance, people would say that big piece in the middle fell off the top of this tree, but I can tell you it did not. It's a different color than this thing, than the big tree, and this was 25 feet in the air. I don't know how that happened. I just don't. Weird. And this was weird too. Again, out in the middle of the woods, driving down one of these dirt trails, way, way, way out there. On the side of the trail, there are these two trees that were cut down because they do foresting out there at certain points to clear areas. And they were laid on the side of the trail. And then there was just this one rock placed there. And this is also where this was only yards from where you saw that big branch up in the middle of that tree, 25 feet in the air. It was not far from this. So, just signs all in one area, clustered together. Here's more of that one. Just crazy. It's just crazy stuff, man. Yep. Try to be quiet and let them discover him. Oh, okay. Structures with the bends. Oh, that one. No, I don't, man. I don't, Mike. Why don't I? I must have not taken a picture of it. I must have just filmed it. again, we found this. That was the first one we found, I think. Of course, brother Mike, Big Mike, no problem, man. Um, I'll go through that video tomorrow and pull pictures from it so that you guys can see some more of the stuff that we found that I did not snap actual pictures on my phone with. There was this one with all these bends. I mean, like, I I don't even know how to describe it. It was so intricate. They were bend over a bend over a bend over a bend between each other. It was wicked, wicked cool. Um, oh, you did text it to me? Oh, hold on. If you text it to me, then I can get it on here right now. Oh, you did. You son of a gun, you. You're the best. All right. We're going to send it right now. We're going to get it on here. This is neat. This is really neat. This is really, really neat to me. I think this is one of my favorites. All right. Here we go. This is going to be the last one, and then we're going to wrap this show up for the night. StreamYard, stop screen. I got to go back and get into my inbox again. Inbox. Bing. Okay. Okay. Present. Share screen. Here you go. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. There's a lot going on here. Just a lot. Bend. Little sticks, big sticks. The whole tree behind it that I believe didn't come from there, or am I wrong about that? I don't think that tree came from there. There was no root ball to that tree that's laying down behind this structure. And there's sticks leaned up against that too. This was crazy. This was also in that area where the rock was on those trees, where the twist was, where the big log was 25 feet up in the air, all in the same area. I mean, just literally, if you spun around in a circle, you if there was no bushes in the way, you would see all this stuff. It was it's neat, man. No footprints. Here's the thing, Janelle. It's really hard in this substrate to find footprints. So a lot of it was pine with pine needles on the ground, which is almost impossible to find footprints in. And then the rest of it, there's rocks all over the place on the ground, even underneath the leaves. I was breaking my ankles the whole day. And again, way off the trail, way off the trail. Um, you know, far enough off the trail that you wouldn't see it from the trail unless you started walking off the trail a bit. But I mean, this is just so. I mean, that there's just a lot going on here, and it's not something that happens naturally. It just doesn't. So, like, if you look at this real severe bend right here, I can't point to it, which pisses me off. But the real severe bend closest to us, right? The trees that are holding that down were not trees that were from there. They weren't attached to the ground by a root ball. So they didn't fall on that tree and bend it over and put it there. Something purposely put the tree to push that thing down to bend it that way, if that makes sense. It, just so much strangeness, man. Just strangeness. Footprints, man. I wish they were so common. I found the one just 2 weeks ago. That was only the second print I've ever found. Um, so I guess it depends on where you are. Some people find them more often, but it's hard around here. It's very difficult. The substrate just doesn't lend itself to footprints in northern Connecticut, unless you're lucky enough to find one like in a muddy area. But in the woods around here, the leaves just don't ever go away. They're always on the ground, even in summer from the previous seasons. So it's hard to find them. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. This was neat. I'm glad you mentioned it, Mike, because I would have forgot all about it. So anyway, that's that. That's the evidence from the other day. It was pretty cool. We had a good time. Mike will come back for sure. He'll be back down here soon. What's going on, Connor? Thank you for coming, man. Wow, that's you've been on here a few times lately. I really appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me. Guys, go sub to Bigfoot Anon. Awesome channel, really awesome channel. Does a lot of cool stuff. He's all over the Bigfoot world, man, and a cool dude. Just a very, very chill, like outgoing guy. He is. So please go sub to Bigfoot Anon if you have not. Very good channel. Go sub to Long Island Bigfoot. Another great guy. Wonderful dude. He's like a brother. He's done so much for me in this short time, man. And like I said, I can't thank him enough. Show Cashew all the love in the world, because without Cashew, there is no me. I promise you that. Cashew is just invaluable to this channel and many others. I cannot say it again enough. Cashew is the shit. She is the bee's knees. The cat's meow. She's great. She's great. I can't say it enough. So much love for Cash. Connor's cool. Talk to him, Bama. I've never actually talked to Connor. I'd love to talk to Connor. Connor should come on the show sometime. Connor, wink, wink. Now that you're here in the chat, put you on the spot. Put you on the spiggity spot. Connor should come on the show. Connor would be a great guest. I'd love to talk to Connor. That'd be amazing. I'm honored that you're even here in the chat, man. That's amazing to me. I've watched you for quite a while. So yeah, pretty cool evidence. I thought it was pretty neat. Nothing astounding. We didn't hear anything around us. There was no movement around us. That stick being moved. Robin says that one of them things came in, cloaked, and moved it. I have no evidence to the contrary. I also don't have any physical evidence that says they did. So I'm just going to believe, what I'm going to believe. And I'm not going to tell you what I believe. But I think they probably did. It just doesn't make any sense. We were not far from that stick at all. We would have heard something. We would have seen something. Like I said, we were scanning the area. We were within eyesight of it. I mean, close. And something moved that stick. Not just moved it. It had to have picked it up and tossed it off the trail. Yeah, crazy. Look forward to seeing Connor on the show next Saturday night. Now I'm looking at my calendar because I don't know if I have anything going on this Saturday. I do. Next Saturday, I actually don't. I don't. Let's see. I'll read to you what I got coming up. I got Robin on Wednesday. I have Michael on Thursday. So I'm going on Thursday because I didn't have anything for Saturday. So I figured I'd just do Wednesday, Thursday, and then, I have Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday this week. Because Saturday I have a gentleman by the name of Dax Rushlow is coming on, another person who had a close encounter with one of these things in Vermont while he was snowmobiling home years ago. Pretty cool story. So he's coming on Saturday. So it goes Robin, Michael, Dax. Michael and Dax are both encounters. You're going to want to watch those because we don't get a ton of those. Robin, you're going to want to watch because she's Robin. Next Wednesday, I have a pretty cool interview with a gentleman who produces television shows and movies, and he made a movie called Assault on Sasquatch few years back. I forget exactly what year it was. He himself says it's a terrible movie. It's a B movie. You know how some of these B movies are with like, you know, Sasquatch horror movies. Some of them are pretty bad. It was a Sasquatch B movie. You know, some people hate them. I like them. I just tend to like them. I don't know why. Listen, I'm not saying it's going to win awards, but I like them. I think they're fun to watch sometimes. And I'm having him on for a couple reasons. One, because I want to talk to somebody who's in that field about Sasquatch's place in pop culture. And then I also want to talk to him about like the special effects and the costumes and the makeup that goes into making a movie about Sasquatch and how difficult it would really be to fake something that looked absolutely realistic. That's why I'm having him on the show. I'm trying to attack this from as many different angles as I can, because why not? So watch him. And if you ladies out there, if you love Hallmark Christmas movies, he's the guy who's making most of the Hallmark and Lifetime Christmas movies. Like, no lie, he's the guy. He's making like the majority of them. Right now he's working with Melissa Joan Hart on like, you know, however many more Lifetime and Hallmark Christmas movies. So if you're a Hallmark or Lifetime fan, watch, just because he's the guy who does all that stuff. You know, I was forced to watch that stuff for a long time, so I personally would like to, you know, at least put him through a little torture for making the movies that I was forced to watch for a while. I'm just kidding. He's a great guy too. He's a wonderful guy. It's going to be a pretty neat interview, I think. So that's the next Wednesday. Then, oh yeah, great news. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? Remember, hold on, wait. Oh yeah, okay. So remember, Al Santoriga was on the other day, right? He's coming back. He's coming back on the 18th. Al will be back on the 18th to finish what we started the other day. He's going to get into some of the better stories and encounters that he's had that he did not get to the other day, because we just kind of got into what we got into. He had planned on doing the real good, scary, crazy stuff, and we just didn't get to it. So he's going to do that this time. Stuff that's going to blow your mind. He showed me some. He showed me some stuff, told me some stuff the other night on the phone after that show, and I was like, "Holy mother!" So please tune in on the 18th, because that's going to be a great show. He's coming back on to finish what we started. I'm waiting to hear back from Miss Debbie, Miss Barbara, and Miss Sandy about rescheduling them for possibly the 23rd or the 27th. And then on the 30th, Alexander Petikoff from the Trail to Bigfoot, Small Town Monsters will be on. That will be an incredible show. If you don't know who Alexander Petikoff is, I suggest you go look. Go Google or go YouTube the Trail to Bigfoot. There are multiple documentaries over the course of the last couple of years. Great films. You talk about a super knowledgeable guy. Guy's like an encyclopedia on this stuff, and he's such a nice dude. So some really cool guests coming on in the next couple of weeks. Those two encounters, those two encounters are going to be pretty crazy to listen to. I promise you. Mike, yeah, Alex is so awesome. Yeah, that's right, Mike. You know him, yeah. He's great. He's great. Love that dude. Big Mike, my mom's a huge fan of those movies. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're very popular. I'll say that. Um, I'm trying to see if I have what else I got. Thanksgiving's coming up. I won't be doing anything Thanksgiving Day. I won't be doing anything the day before, I don't think. Maybe the day after I'll come on in a half comatose state and do a show. We'll see what happens. Uh, I spoke with Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum the other day, and Dr. Meldrum agreed to do the show, which is a huge deal for me. That's big. That's Meldrum's like Ron Moorhead to me. That's huge. But he's really busy for the next month. So we're going to reconnect in December, like in the early middle December, to set up a date for maybe that month, if not in January. Which whatever, fine. I'll wait. I don't care. I get it. Like the guy's busy. He's got a whole ton of shit to do, and he's in demand. There's conferences coming up. The other person that is going to that agreed to come on the show, if you don't know who he is, Dr. Igor Burtsev from Russia. This guy is the chief director of the Hominid Institute for Research in Europe. Okay, he is a hominologist, a doctor in hominology. Um, he might also be the doctor of thugonomics. Just kidding. I bet you. I know Big Mike gets that reference. I don't know if anybody else will, but I know Big Mike will. Um, a truly respected man. He's gone to the world conferences many times, the world conferences on Sasquatch studies, and spoken and shared his research. This guy is no joke. He's agreed to do the show. Again, just narrowing down a date. That's the problem, because he's going to seminar after seminar all over the place. He lives in Russia. He's coming to he's here right now in the States to do a seminar too. Then he's going back to Europe to speak again. I mean, this guy is, man. So he's going to be on the show at some point. And then, yeah, Richard Headseer is going to be on the show soon. Richard Headseer. He'll be on the show very soon. He is he's the leading expert in the world on Bigfoot, so he says. So we'll see. Yep. So that's that. I'm gonna wrap it up, man. I'm tired. I'm gonna go eat some ice cream, and then I'm gonna hit the hay. Yep. I like ice cream. It's my favorite thing in the world. Quick question before we go. Everybody in the chat, favorite ice cream flavor? Go. Desert Island, one flavor only. Favorite ice cream flavor? Tell me now. And then we're going to shut this thing down. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, some cool ones. I've had some really great ones already on. Amazing. I've been very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. I think, you know, I say this like with so much humility. I hope it doesn't sound like I have no ego whatsoever. I am not that guy. But I believe that these people come on the show, even with the show being so new, because it speaks to the level of respect that I give them when I reach out to them, and the level of professionalism that I approach this with. I may be new at this, but I try my very best to do this professionally and also have fun, not be a stick in the mud, but do it professionally and have a good time. And I think that's why they agree to come on the show. I hope anyway. All right, so what do we got? Pistachio. Ooh, good one. Chocolate. Come on, Janelle, you can do better than chocolate. Moose tracks. Yeah, it's all right. Another chocolate. Salted caramel. That's a good one. Love strawberry. I do love strawberry. Thank you, Mike. Big Mike, man. Big Mike is just such a sweet guy. He is. He's just a gem of a guy. I'm so glad you're here, brother. Really. Blessings, man. Blessings. Anybody else? Favorite ice cream flavor, if you had to pick one? Mine changes all the time. I can only tell you what it is at the moment. Salted caramel, no, that's a very good one. The salt and sweet at the same time, oh, it's the best. It's the best. Is that it? Nobody else? Nobody else? Going once, going twice? Right now, my favorite flavor of ice cream, it's a seasonal flavor that Friendly's does. No, it's already in the fridge, Cash. Are you kidding me? I, I ain't going nowhere. It's already stocked, locked and loaded, ready to go. So it's a seasonal flavor that Friendly's does. It's a peppermint stick. It's a Christmas flavor that they only do in the winter around Christmas, like Thanksgiving to Christmas. It's so good. It's so good. I know it probably sounds terrible to some people, but it doesn't taste like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It has little bits of like candy cane in it, and that's pepperminty. But the ice cream itself is not really pepperminty. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's so good though. Oh my god, so good. So that's my favorite right now. That'll change in a couple months when that goes away. Um, Francesca says marvelous vanilla goes great with everything, but just great by itself. I guess you can't go wrong with vanilla. Yeah, you can't, and you can throw whatever you want on it. Sprinkles, you know, nuts, whatever. Uh, yeah, I tend to lean towards like so. There's the Friendlies also has the ice cream cake flavor. Like so, it's kind of like the Carvel cake. It has blue ice cream that tastes and has the same texture as the blue frosting on those cakes, which is so good. And it has the chocolate crunchies, and then it has chocolate and vanilla ice cream on the sides of the blue ice cream. It's super good. That's another favorite of mine. Oh my god, amazing. Uh, I also love black raspberry. That's up there for me. That is up there. That's such a good flavor. Oof, love it. Or chocolate cherry chunk. Oof, man, I could do this all day. That's why I weigh 280 pounds right now. That and because of the bodacious barbecue sandwich that I had for lunch that Cashew said I need to fire my cook over. I'm my cook. If I fire my cook, I lose my cooking job. It was a good sandwich. Pulled pork, barbecue sauce, chili, coleslaw, macaroni and cheese, all inside an onion roll. Yep, that happened this afternoon. My belly is going to be smacking me in the face later for it. All right, that's enough. We're done. I've rambled on enough. I'm tired. I want to go eat my ice cream. I just had a piece of pumpkin pie with some vanilla ice cream about 15 minutes ago. You can keep your pumpkin pie, bro. Ugh, I'm sorry. I'm not envious of you right now. If you said apple crisp and vanilla ice cream, I would have said wonderful. I do not like pumpkin. I am not a pumpkin guy. I don't like it. It's not my thing. It's gross to me. Pumpkin pie has the grossest texture in the world. Nope. Keep it. Um, I'll give you my pies. Ready? My great grandmother's apple crumble. That's number one. It's like not. It's not a pie. It's not a crisp. It's somewhere in between, and it's the most amazing thing ever. She was from Portugal, by the way. She was a sweet old lady. Um, Blueberry after that, but it's got to be the right blueberry. It's got to be made with. You got to use orange zest in it when you're making it. It adds just this little bit of layer to it that makes it extra good. Lemon meringue, Another favorite of mine, my grandmother made a great lemon meringue pie. Love it. It's very refreshing. If you've never had lemon meringue pie, I suggest you try it. It's worth it. You know, people think lemon weird. No, lemon good. Um, Chocolate cream, and then banana cream. I think that's probably my pie. My favorite pie is all in order, uh, right there. And then also I make this. It's I don't know what you call it. It's hard. It's kind of like a mishmash thing. So what it is it's pretzels. You take pretzels, salted pretzel pieces in a bag, and you crush them up, and then you mix them with butter, and you use that. You line the bottom of the pan with the glass pan with that. Then you take blueberry pie filling, excuse me, and you put that over those. And you take Cool Whip and Cool Whip and cream cheese, I believe, and you mix it together with powdered sugar, and then you put that on top of the blueberry, and then you do crushed pretzels on the top, and you put it in the fridge and you let it sit. Incredible, incredible. One of the best things I've ever had in my entire life, ever. That may be the thing. If somebody said you could only have one dessert for the rest of your life, what would it be? That might be the one. It's so good. You're salty, you're fruity, you got that crazy thick whipped cream cheesy, powdered sugary. Oh man, it's just nuts. It's nuts. It's so good. Yeah, gosh, my mouth's watering right now. Oh man. Do I hear a new channel brewing? Cooking, cooking with encrypted connections. Yeah, possibly. Cooking with Kyle, maybe. Or we could call it munching with Munchie, since I did divulge that that was the nickname my mother gave me when I was just a baby because I came out eating whatever was around. My mom would give me anything and I'd eat it. Didn't matter. So yeah, that was how that nickname got started. But we'll keep that quiet. Nobody else has to know that. It's not gonna be called cooking with Kyle. It's gonna be called eating with Kyle. I don't. The cooking part I could care less about. It's the eating that I want to do. Cooking with Kyle with a K. Yeah, yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Now we've talked about food. Now I'm even more hungry. Otis wants to talk. Hey, Odie, come here, Bubba. Come here. You never get to see Otis. I want you to see Otis. He's such a handsome cat. He's my special baby. This is Odie. Say hi, Bubba. Say hi. That's my Bubba. That's my special guy. That cat right there, when we got him, he's Ollie's brother, the one that always comes in front of the camera and messes with my stuff when I'm live. When I got him, when we used to go to I used to go to the rescue every weekend, basically from the time they were 2 weeks old when he picked him out, and decided I was going to adopt him. We used to go up every weekend to visit with them so they would get used to us. And this poor guy uh, was so timid and so scared. He would hide up inside the couches in the lazy boy, like in where the all the working parts are. He would hide in the back of the entertainment centers, so that like he just wanted to be away from everybody. He was just so timid, and he was that way when we got him. It's taken a long time to get to this point where he will come talk to me, and he's asking for love. Part Maine Coon, no, Siberian is what they think. Part Siberian, we think, yeah. Um, he's such a sweet cat. Hold on, I'm gonna show you real quick. I just want to show you. Forgive me for the sound, but you just have to see. That's my baby. This is where we're at now. He comes and lays with me and wants his lovin's. Yeah, he's my special boy. Took a long time to get that trust built, to get him to feel, to know that he was going nowhere and that he was going to be loved for the rest of his life. And now that he figured that out, now he comes asking for love. Usually at between 2 and 3:30 in the morning is his favorite time to come crying in my face for it. But yeah, thank you. He's a very, very pretty cat. He's such a sweet boy. This cat does not have a mean, aggressive bone in his body. Just not one. Not one. He's a good boy. He's very special to me. Because our relationship is different than, um, when you have to earn it, um, when it takes time, when you have to show them that that they're safe, and then when they finally come out of that place of being scared, it's just really special. So yeah, he's my. I tell him all the time, he's my special boy, and he is. He's a good kitty. So anyway, we've talked cats, we've talked food, we've talked Bigfoot evidence, we talked wrestling belts. What else we talked about tonight? We talked about all kind of stuff. It's been fun, but I'm going now, and I mean, oh yeah, really? Meow, come here, come here, come on, come say hi, come on. Oh, drive by, say hi, say hi, say hi, say hi. Oh, I love the chin scratches. I love it. 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 Oh, he's my favorite. Sorry, I'm trying to put these things away. I got these new earbuds to try to use for the show, and they don't work anyway. Uh, Slowly fed him ice cream until he. Yeah, she did. She slowly fed me ice cream until I made her a moderator, and she made me diabetic. Oh God, I love this place sometimes. All right, that's it. I'm going. You guys have a wonderful night. I will see you. What's today? Sunday? I'll see you on Wednesday with Robin McRae. Please tune in. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. Lift each other up. Do something nice for yourself and somebody else. Remember, if you change the way you're looking at things, the things you're looking at will change. Good night.